chatting all about the things folks need to know with golf carts. So I didn't realize that this was even a thing, but obviously here in Myrtle Beach, there's a lot of people that own golf carts. So there's a whole set of different rules for that, huh?
Yes, there's a huge golf cart population here. I guess that's what I'm going to call it, because everybody's got them. Tourists want them when they come on vacation. People who live here have them when they live in communities, so they can drive to the beach. So they're everywhere.
I feel like it's gotten really big within the past, I don't know, 5-10 years, where I feel like now everybody, because before it wasn't such it was kind of just for golf courses and maybe like some campgrounds or something like that. And now it's like everybody in neighborhoods have them.
Yeah, well, they're fun to drive, right? So everybody loves a golf cart, right?
Yeah.
So you get easier for it instead of having to drag everything to the beach in your car and get it all sandy. You can throw it on a golf cart and get down to the beach. So it's very convenient. And you're right, they've been growing big time in the beach.
Yeah.
So much so there's lawsuits now, and they're adding even more litigation as far as who gets a decal to rent these things out. The moped and golf cart rental business in Myrtle Beach is very competitive because the tourists want them, and they basically have a little monopoly on them. And so there's like 4 or 5 companies that basically have all of these. But the issue is more golf carts, more mopeds on the street. Where there's more traffic, more people can get hurt.
Yeah.
And it slows down the whole issue for first responders to get through the roads in Myrtle Beach. So they've really started to regulate those, and they give more and more each year. But now it's more controlled. That's a city ordinance that they've kind of done within the city limits.
Okay. So, our first tip kind of pertains to folks that are renting these golf carts. So there are not that many licensed places to rent these from, right?
Right. So you got to make sure that they have a city license, that they have these, there'll be a decal. They sell them by decal per moped and per golf cart.
Okay.
So if you're renting from somebody random that you find on the internet, or maybe through an Airbnb, or maybe through even Turo, those online rideshare companies, and it's a golf cart, that is probably an unlicensed golf cart. You need to make sure you're going to like Myrtle Beach Golf Carts, one of these main licensed people who have these decals, and more importantly have insurance in the event an accident happened while you're on the golf cart with your family.
Interesting. Have we seen any golf cart cases yet at our law firm?
Oh yeah, we've had a couple.
Yeah.
Interesting. Man, I did not know it was like.
And the issue is you're not restrained, right?
Yeah.
So when you get hit, you come to a stop, even if it's low speed on a golf cart, you're getting thrown from that golf cart.
Right.
And these golf carts are just made out of cheap metal.
Plastic,
it's not like a car in plastic, So because they're made for the golf course, right? They're not made to be riding on the roads.
Right. All right, and then we have our second tip. So there's a whole kind of list of different regulations for golf carts as far as when you can drive and where you can drive, right?
Yeah. So everybody needs to keep this in mind, because I see this rule broken every day, but the officers are really starting to crack down on this stuff. So you can only, first of all, you have to have a driver's license. Okay. So you can't just let your kid drive a golf cart.
Okay.
Cops are going to pull you over, getting a ticket.
I feel like that's for kids too. Sometimes the tourists will come down and treat it like it's like a go-kart or something.
Yeah.
It's fun to drive, just get on there, but there's laws.
Because the speed doesn't go very fast, so you feel like it's a safer thing for them to drive. But you don't realize that they're not allowed to do that.
Got to have a license, yeah. Now, if you own it privately, you have to have a golf cart decal from the DMV as well. So you can't just drive yours around. If you think if you own a golf cart that you can drive it around, well, if you don't have the DMV decal, well, you can get a ticket for that.
Crazy. And then what about where you can go?
Yeah, so you can only have it within 4 miles of whatever the registered address is. So if you live in Myrtle Beach, just say off 38th Avenue, I'm just throwing this out there.
Sure.
4 miles around that, anywhere past that, and you're going to get a ticket for that, because they don't want you driving it. They don't want it to be like a personal vehicle. It's supposed to be like a real quick ride to the beach, whatever it may be.
Right. Interesting.
Can't be at night.
Okay.
Because
what is that considered though? Because all these golf carts, they have headlights on them.
Right, but dusk, once the sun goes down, that's considered do not have the golf cart out past that time.
Okay.
And then also it has to be on secondary roads, so you can't get out there on 501 in a golf cart.
That would be scary.
Yeah.
That would be scary anyway. But still good to know, because I'm sure people have done it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's their mode for transportation.
When life gets ugly, justice is lovely. The love